Okay, today I'm going to go through the comprehension in Horizon issue 40. Okay, uh, it is called Raw Sticks and Multitasking, my waitressing experience. So you should have your copy of the Horizon issue 40 with you and read through the passage once, okay, because this particular lesson is on how to do the comprehension question. All right, without further ado, let's take a look at the first question. In paragraph 1, the writer describes the din she hears on a daily basis. What were the three types of sounds that contribute to this? Okay, let me call out my pen. So I can see that I am looking at focusing on paragraph 1, and then the writer described a din. Uh, Din usually means noise. So it's asking for three types of sounds. And these three types of sounds should be something that is noisy. Okay, so let me go to that part. Okay. Okay, let me read that. The ever-present thrumming of the rows of refrigerators, the clanking of stoneware shoved into dishwashers, the shouting of the head chef to the sous chef, and then the ladder to the kitchen hand. That was the din. Okay, I noticed that. Din. That I had accustomed myself to hearing on the daily. So this is similar to what it is in the passage itself. Okay, so the answer should be around it. And outside the kitchen, there were the indistinct murmur of diners, the clinking of silverware on porcelain, and the occasional wail of a baby sat atop an uncomfortable high chair. The cacophony of sounds that became the backing track to my 2 months of work. So I'm thinking that I'm looking for something that is related to noise. Okay, it's din. So what are noise that contribute to this? Okay, um, so looking at the sounds here, I have ever-present drumming of the rows of refrigerators. I have clanking of stoneware shoved into dishwashers. I have shouting of the chef to the sous chef. Now, so these are some of the points that I have sieved out from the passage itself. Okay, now how can I make it more concise? Do I copy everything? Okay, I don't want to copy everything, so I need to select the facts that are necessary. So, ever-present thrumming of the rows of refrigerator. I don't need the ever-present. I only need, so maybe I should try highlighter instead. Okay, so I only want the thrumming. Okay, that's fine. So I only want thrumming of the refrigerators. I only want clanking of stoneware, and I only want shouting of the head chef. Okay, that is making my answer more concise and relevant. I don't want to copy every single thing. So how do I actually present the answers? Okay, let me put it side by side so that it's easier to make reference, and I don't want to copy make it copy wrongly or make any transfer errors. Okay, so what were the three types of sounds that contribute to this? The three types of sounds, I'll just say they are the thrumming of refrigerators, okay, clanking of stoneware, and shouting of head chef. Okay, so these are the relevant answer that answer this factual question. Okay, now next question. What does backing track tell you about how she feels about these sounds? So just now we read that part. Okay, we read that part about backing track. Where is the word backing track? So backing track is here. Okay, how she feels about these sounds. So I've heard of backing track before. So backing track is like the background noise, background sound. Okay, so how does she feel about these sounds in the background? Okay, you have to make a reference based on the choice of the word backing track. So, I mean, it's like compliment. Okay, so you can write that part as well. How she feels. She felt that these sounds are complement to her work. Okay, so what are some other acceptable answers? We can also write these sounds are part and parcel of her work. Okay, these two answers are all acceptable. Alright, so next part, next question. In paragraph 2, how does the writer clue the reader in that she and her friends are not really studying? Okay, so now I'm looking for how means in what way, clue the reader in that she and her friends were not really studying. And this is only 1 mark. Okay, so let me go to that relevant section here. Alright. Okay. So here, most of the productive work we had done that day had ended after the 3rd hour of practice of papers, and when the rain started, any chance of picking up steam again was washed away with the downfall. We had all but dozed off to sleep when Joshua, who had been reading the same page of his well-worn biology textbook for the past 10 minutes, broke the rhythmic pounding of droplets on the pavement outside. So where is the clue? Are you sure that is paragraph 2? Oh, sorry, I read the wrong one. It should be this one. Sorry, it's late at night, so I'm a bit tired. Okay, it's here, paragraph 2. The story of how I found myself working at a restaurant begins scanned 2 days before my first O-level paper, with my friends and I gathered around a table in the school canteen to study. Okay, so I noticed that there are quotation marks here, study. To the unsuspecting eye, we might have passed off as a group of burnt-out, sick, deprived, mugger students who've been quizzing each other on concepts that were down-packed months ago. But the true nature of our conversation was a tad bit loftier. Okay, so how does the writer clue the reader in that she and her friends were not really studying? So, we need to examine the style of writing or word choice adopted by the writer. So as you can see here, there's the use of inverted commas on here. To the unsuspecting eye. So which one is the correct one that I should write? They were not really studying. Okay, so I think that this is a better answer to the unsuspecting eye, because the following ones are description of them, right? How are they studying? So what does the unsuspecting eye suggest? Okay, so the unsuspecting eye suggests that there is more than what one sees, alright? So she uses the phrase unsuspecting eye to suggest that there is more than what one sees. Okay, so you can also write, okay, uses the quotation marks around the word study to suggest that the contrary. The contrary. What's the contrary? That they were not really studying. Okay. So I'm sorry that it's a bit small because this question has 2 parts, right? I have 2 possible answers. Okay, next. What were the 2 initial reactions to Joshua's suggestion? Okay, so what were the 2 initial suggestions to Joshua's suggestion? Okay, so is the answer in paragraph 3? I don't think so. The answer is not in paragraph 3 because it is suggested in another one. me find the paragraph. Okay. I think the answer is here after Joshua has suggested something. All right. Okay. So let's see what were the two initial reactions to Joshua's suggestion. Let's go overseas together, like a holiday trip or something, before we all go to different schools next year. He was met with sleepy mumbles and grunts of agreement, followed by quizzical glances and gentle laughter from those who were weak enough to comprehend the absurdity of what he's just said. Okay. Very clearly, I know where the answer is. Okay. Should be here the initial reaction. So that means in the beginning, what was the reaction? And we are looking for two. So here I'm going to underline what are the relevant ones. Sleepy mumbles, grunts of agreement, followed by quizzical glances, gentle laughter. Alright, so do I need to write anything more from those who were weak enough to comprehend the absurdity? But she said, no, don't have to write all these things. Okay, keep your answer relevant. Don't write too much. Okay, don't write too much. Write what is relevant and necessary. Don't write excess. So, what were the two initial reactions? So they are sleepy, mumbles, and grunts of agreement. What else? Okay, so I put a comma here then. And quizzical glances and gentle laughter. Right, so those were the two initial reactions to Joshua's suggestion. How did the reaction change and why? How did the reaction change and why? So I need to find the change in the reaction now. How did the reaction change and why? So when we realized that he was serious, what happened? He started pelting him with questions. Blah, 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 blah. And, okay, shrug off. That's not the friend's reaction, that was Joshua's reaction. His enthusiasm for our fantasy was infectious. One by one, we join in. Okay, the planning in the afternoon. Okay, concocted the perfect getaway. Okay, why did the reaction change? Why did the reaction change? Okay, see, here there are many questions. Why are there so many questions? Why are there so many questions? Why do you actually ask questions? You ask questions because in this case, did they believe that the suggestion made by Joshua was possible? No. How do you know that? Because of here. Okay. absurdity of what he's just said. Okay, so that tells you why they did not believe that the suggestion was possible. Okay, so let's craft the answer. How did the reaction change? Okay, so the group members started pelting, who is him, Joshua, with questions. And why? And why? So I need to use a conjunction. Because. Use a conjunction because. Okay, because the absurdity of what he just said. Thought that his suggestion was absurd. Okay. That's it. Okay. What are the possible answers? You can say that they did not believe that the suggestion was possible. Okay. So that's also another possible answer. Oops. Okay, let's do the next question. Why did the writer decide to find a job? Where can you find that? Why did the writer try to find a job? Okay. So this is quite clearly a factual question. Why did he decide to find a job? Because she wanted to go overseas, right? We have read that. And what can a job do? Okay, let's find contextual clues in the passage first. After the exams were done and dusted, my first order of business was to find a job to pad out my bank account balance a bit. Okay, so that my years of scrimping and saving will not be vaporized over the course of 7 days. So why did the writer decide to find a job? Can you just copy? She wants to pad out her bank account balance so that her years of scrimping and saving will not be vaporized over the course of 7 days. Actually, if it's a factual question, yes, you can copy it, but I wouldn't advise so because it shows that you don't really comprehend the passage. So it might be better that you understand the information and then you phrase it to answer the question accordingly. Try to make it as relevant as possible. Okay. So why did she decided to find a job? She wanted to earn some money, right? So that years of scrimping and saving will not vaporize over the course of 7 days. She would not empty her savings during the getaway. answer? Do you need to write in your own words? Well, you didn't say that you need to write in your own words, so you don't really have to write in your own words. Next, which phrase, okay, from paragraph 6 tells you that the writer thought that the job would be easy. Okay, this is a quotation question, very, very obvious. Okay, so answer should be behind the previous sentence. I was so confident that I would breeze through the 2 months of part-time shifts at a restaurant chain at the downtown mall, especially I was practically hired on the spot. What tells you that the job will be easy? Yep, you breeze through it. Okay, so breeze through. Okay. Can you write I would breeze through? No, because it's a phrase. So the phrase means that it should not contain the subject. And it being a quotation mark, what do you need to have? Yes, you need to have quotation marks. Okay. Breeze through. Check your spelling. Through, not thorough. Okay. What made her think that way? Okay. What made her think that way? Oh, well, let's take a look at the mark. It's 1 mark. So what made her think that way? Well, she thinks that, she said, how hard could waitressing be? Alright. So what made her think that way? Obviously, the word hard tells you that she thinks that waitressing is easy. Alright. So what made her think that way? She thought that waitressing would not be difficult. Wait, let's actually answer the question. What made her think that way? I think another possible answer would be, what made her think that way would be, she was practically hired on the spot. What made her think that way? She was practically hired on the spot. So did she go through any training? No. Or difficult interview? No, she didn't. Right, so she's practically hired on the spot. Hence, she did not think that waitressing would be difficult. Okay. Next, the manager assured that the writer that difficult customer was ridiculous. Okay, cite one piece of evidence from paragraph 11 and explain how that shows he was ridiculous. Okay, so this type of question you cannot just lift. You have to pick the appropriate quote and match it to the correct explanation to show that the customer was being ridiculous. So let's take a look how ridiculous the customer is, okay? 11. So in other words, we are looking for one evidence, and then you need to explain how that shows that he was ridiculous. Okay, let's take a look at this. He looked clearly taken aback. I internally breathed a sigh of relief, expecting now he had calmed down a bit. I was proven completely wrong when his mood took a swing for the word, started launching into a loud, long-winded rant about how poor service restaurants were getting nowadays, right? And how they were hiring just any old idiot off the streets who was in looking for a job. Okay, I stood there mortified as I got chewed out in front of all the diners. Some of them had started to turn and watch the thing unfold. And then, whenever I tried to explain myself, what did she do? What did this ridiculous customer do? He just interrupted me with more ridiculous questions. Okay, I was so embarrassed, and the backs of my eyes started to prickle with unshed tears. He was right in the middle of telling me what medium rare meant when my colleague, a more experienced waitress, came over to bail me out. Okay, so she quickly told me to go and fetch the manager from the back room, while she stood in my place and tried to calm the man down, even though now he was fuming mad that the incompetent waitress who had ruined his lunch was now escaping to the safety of the kitchen. So in other words, why it was ridiculous. Now he is fuming mad. Okay, and what is it? Okay, the colleague actually went to help. Okay, so another one would be, why was him being ridiculous? Okay, ridiculous because he said that I should have known to explain him what media rare meant. Okay, so Side 1 evidence from paragraph 11 explain how it was ridiculous. So just any one of it, but I will do all to show how can be done. Alright, so the first one is that, let me make this a bit smaller. Okay, so one possible evidence. The customer started ranting about what? Restaurants hiring any old idiot off the streets who was in looking for a job. So how is this being ridiculous? Okay, so you can say that this shows that the customer, what do? Made a personal attack on the, sorry, not attach, attack on the writer instead of rectifying the issue with his stick. Okay, next possible answer is just interrupted me with more ridiculous question. So we can also write the customer interrupted the writer when she was trying to explain herself. So what is ridiculous about it? Why? How does this show that it was ridiculous? Okay, so this shows that the writer had no chance to improve the situation. It's ridiculous, right? Because I mean, since he's unhappy, you should allow someone to explain herself. Okay, next one is the customer said that the writer should have explained what medium rare was only after the food arrived. Okay. So in other words, it's ridiculous because he was actually not given a wrong order, but he was angry after he was given what he had asked for. So this shows that was ridiculous. He was angry at the food he ordered, despite it was a correct order. Okay, and last one, feeling mad because the colleague took over, right? So the customer was upset that a different staff was attending to him. Why was it ridiculous? This shows that. Why was it ridiculous? He was unhappy that. The writer was ridiculous. The writer colleague who came to help out. Okay, so I know it's not easy for this question because you have to find a piece of evidence and then do another step to explain why this is ridiculous. It's not easy, okay, but I hope that you understand this type of question since I went through with you. Okay, now last of all is the global question. Alright, this is the global question. So for the global question, let's take a look. What is it asking for? So from the whole passage, the structure of the text reflects the various stages that the writer goes through in the narrative. Pick the most appropriate words from the box below to complete the blanks representing each stage. There are some extra words that you do not need to use. Okay, so let's go back and take a look at the passage, paragraph 2 to 5. 2 to 5. The story of how I found myself working at a restaurant begins a scant 2 days before my first O-level paper. Okay, so this sounds like she is recounting what happened in the past. So I will put that. And just now we went back to paragraph 6, which is about her finding a job to earn some money. Okay, so she thought that it was easy and things like that. So in other words, she is feeling positive. Oh yes, after you select, please just put a tick to show that you have already selected the particular phrase. Next, let's take a look at paragraph 7. Okay, my first day of work was probably the worst. I had undergone training to be taught the work, but no preparation could clue me in as to just hectic the lunch hour on a Saturday would be. The first few customers that streamed in at 11 were easy enough to handle. I diligently taken down orders, given recommendations, and ran the client house through the survey. But I made my first grave mistakes towards no. So it tells me that she's unprepared for a job. Okay. Okay, well, she got scolded all the way onto paragraph 11. Alright, and next we have paragraph 12. So, next few days we have a similar scenario to get a learning opportunity. The days and the weeks I become better at presenting myself confidently to the customers. Good at quite apt at pleasing and diffusing tense situations. Okay, by the end of the short stint, she developed many skills that helps her. So, what does it show? It shows that she's taking everything in her stride. Okay, so that is the comprehension raw sticks and multitasking in the Horizon issue 4. This resource material is credited to Adept Learning Pte Ltd. So I don't take credit for it. I just went through with my students how to do the question.